Hi guys, Lori here. It's about 6:30. I actually wound up working a lot longer for work than I normally do, but I really was determined to get some stuff done. But I am starting a new reading vlog. It is the weekend. Again, we're still in self-quarantine dealing with this whole coronavirus thing, but I am determined to get some reads done. I am in the middle of listening to two books. I'm listening to Scarlet by Marissa Meyer and Ghost of the Shadow Market by a bunch of authors. It's part of that Shadowhunters anthology, so I'm really liking that. And I am in the middle of reading two books. I am in the middle of reading Super Adjacent by Crystal Ciceri, which I'm going to hope to tackle tonight. I really want to finish this book tonight. I just have to check in with my friend because we are reading it together. I am really enjoying this book, but I am going to make this my read for the evening. I just have to check in with my friend. And I'm also reading The Secret Runners by Matthew Riley. This book I'm definitely preferring a little bit more than the Secret Runners, but I really am liking it. So, that was a really quick opening, but I really do want to get to reading because I really haven't been reading all day. I've been grading and focusing a lot on my computer, so I really just want to go read. I have a lot of booktube videos that I do have to catch up on. Everyone posts their booktube videos on Friday, so it's kind of a nice way to like start my relaxing weekend or somewhat of a relaxing weekend. But yeah, so I hope you guys are staying safe, and I'm gonna go dive into Super Adjacent, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys. Sorry, that was like a rather quick check in, but I just wanted to say that we're super adjacent. If you do not want to be spoiled on a plot point that is on page 224 of my arc, then I would not read the back summary because it has taken me that long to get to the twist that was revealed in the summary. But other than that, I think it's a very creative twist. I like it. I'm curious to see what happens to these two characters. Especially considering who the point of view characters are in this book. I'm really liking it. I'm liking the dynamics between seeing the relationship from not the superhero's perspective, but their significant other, because I think it takes like the story in like such an interesting direction, and I'm really liking it. I also like that one romance is kind of the end of the romance and one romance is at the very start. I think that it's a very different dynamics, and I'm really liking that. So I am on page 224, and this book has 354 pages in it. So I'm going to try to finish the rest of this read today. I don't have a lot to do, honestly, but I am really liking it. So this is going to be my goal, is to finish this book tonight and then head back into Secret Runners. But I'm going to go read, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys. Lori here. I'm just checking back in. It's about 7:51, and I didn't actually read my 5 chapters of Super Adjacent, but I do want to read a bit more. I would like to finish this. I would say I have about 100 pages left. I'm on page 270, and I have to get up to page like 350, so it's like 100 pages. I think I can probably do it. I am liking the twist. I'm liking the unexpected like developments of the characters. I'm liking how Bridget and Claire need to really take like a different journey or a different like role in the story. I like that. There is one plot twist that I really hope doesn't happen, and they kind of leaned into it, so I'm kind of thinking it's probably not going to happen. But if it is, it would be super predictable. But I am liking that Claire is kind of learning more about the superhero world, which is something that she's always been very obsessed with. And I'm just really liking it. It's definitely a fun read, and I'm curious to see if this will be a standalone or a new series. But right now, I'm really enjoying the world building. I also decided that I'm gonna try to do the Owls Readathon. I'm gonna probably pick my books later tomorrow when I actually wake up. But I might do it tonight. It just depends. But I definitely do want to finish Super Adjacent tonight so I can start or finish my other book tomorrow. That's kind of the plan of attack. But I'm gonna go reading, and I will check in with you guys when I read 5 more chapters. Bye, guys. Here. So I'm checking back in. It's about 8:30, and I did wind up reading up to page 304 in Super Adjacent. I'm right at the end of this. I have 50 more pages left about. I am so happy that my fearful prediction did not come true, and it actually took the book in a totally new direction. I'm really liking these two characters. I'm loving how they're really like diving into this mystery and diving into this world and trying to solve it. I really like that. I do sometimes get a little bit lost about whose head I'm in, I'll be honest, but that's just because the characters are a little bit similar to me at points. But I'm really liking it. I'm really liking this world. It's so fun. Such a fun superhero novel, but also deals with like a lot of fun issues. I love the LGBTQ romance. I love the mystery. I'm really curious to see who the real villain is in this story. I have a theory, and it's not the theory that the characters think. So I'm curious to see if I'm going to be right or the characters are going to be right, but we will see. But I will check back in when I read about 50 more pages, and then I'll be done with this read. So I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Right here, I'm checking back in. I think I have to page like 322. I have about 25 pages left. This book took an interesting turn, and it reminds me a little bit, not a lot, because I think the Renegade series by Marissa Meyer is like very like high and very very intense. This is definitely a later read, but it's a very very strong world building that I'm really enjoying. But it does deal with like topics very similar to that series, or like similar topics of like age and publicity and what makes a hero and when should you stop being a hero. And I really like that conversation. I'm loving the dynamics between these characters. Claire is going through a lot in this chapter, like a lot. She's dealing with a lot. The villain was not who I predicted and not who the characters predicted, which I thought was interesting. It was like kind of a left shot reveal, which I really liked. So everyone was wrong, but I really really liked it, and I can't wait to see how this book wraps up. I can't wait to see how the non-superheroes save the day, and I will report back when I'm done. Bye guys. Flurry here. I'm back. I did wind up finishing Super Adjacent by Crystal Ciceri. I actually wound up really liking this book. I would give this book like three and a half, 4 stars. I think it's more of a 3.75 star read. I thought it was super fun. I really enjoyed it. More of a 4 star read. I actually wound up really liking it. I thought it was just like a fun read. It was a nice balance between being a serious superhero book but also having a lighthearted component. I love the world. I think the world is definitely the highlight. I love the 2 characters. I loved the very 2 different romances. I love the balance of the characters. It was a fun read. I think I preferred Brigitte's character a little bit towards the start of the book, but I think that Claire really had a big learning curve throughout this whole book. I think that this is a standalone. If we get more books in the series, I would really enjoy it. But I think it was just such a fun read. A perfect read. Really, really remind me of my superhero roots. So I'm gonna go pick my books for the Owl Readathon, which I have never participated with when it's happening, like live in person. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna come in and share the books that I'm gonna read with you guys. I'm gonna go choose my career, and I'll come in and share that with you guys as I watch Haley and Bookland as my background noise. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. That took a little bit of time, to be very honest. I really had to sort through what I want to read this month and a couple of different jobs. For those that don't know, the Owl Readathon is this really complicated readathon, or I wouldn't say complicated. It's a very very well crafted readathon by Book Roast, and I've tried to participate in the past, but I figured because I'm home for a lot of time now, I figured I would give it a go. And I kind of sorted through the prompts that I wanted. I had like a couple of different careers, but I ultimately chose an astrologist an aurologist. And I've always been really, really fascinated with auras, so I decided to pick that as my path, and I only need 3 owls, which is actually not that bad. So the first one is astronomy, where you have to read that it's mostly dark outside, and I'm going to try to read Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody because that is set in like a mysterious city, and a lot of it takes place at night. That may not work, but that's the book I chose. Also, divination is a random read, so I have a bunch of books in my TBR, and I always do random number generators anyway. So after I read Secret Runners, I'll probably pick that one up, and then History of Magic is just a book that has witches or wizards in it, and I will just pick one because I have a lot on my TBR. But that's my plan. I'm actually gonna veg. My brain has kind of been through the ringer today, just with like a lot of meetings and a lot of school stuff. So I'm going to go just watch some TV. I was able to catch up on all my booktube videos, and then tomorrow I'll kind of dive in. And I have to do a little bit of filming tomorrow, and I'm gonna hopefully really tackle the Secret Runners. And I want to play a little bit of Animal Crossing, which I bought last weekend. So that's gonna be my plan, and go to my yoga classes and do all those fun things and just kind of stay safe. I didn't go for my daily walk because my work just took a long time, so I definitely want to go for and do something outside tomorrow, which will be a goal. But I will check in with you guys tomorrow in the morning when I'm going to keep reading The Secret Runners. Bye guys. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. It is April 4th. It is about 8:30 in the morning. I just woke up, got dressed, did all those fun things. I do have to do a little bit of work this morning both like filming stuff and other stuff and a little bit for work. They keep changing our work schedule. I am working from home, but they keep changing the days that we actually have to teach, so I'm just trying to make sure that everything's all prepped. I am someone that likes to have everything prepped like a week in advance so I don't have to worry about posting it. Google Classroom is sometimes a little bit annoying to use, so safety first. I'm trying to make sure that everything's all organized. I do have to film some things and write up some stuff for work. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or tomorrow, but I definitely do want to do my Google Classroom stuff. But I also do want to say that I am in the middle of reading The Secret Runners by Matthew Riley. Right now I'm on page 178. It's definitely a fast-paced thriller. So basically, these kids are trying to beat the apocalypse. They're in one timeline, and they've seen what happens in another timeline, and they're trying to stop that from happening to them, basically. But it's a very, very fast-paced thriller. I really enjoy it. It's definitely like, it's not like a complicated read. I think it's a very, very simplistic read. It's basically told from mostly like one person's point of view. But I think this cover is so cool. Set in New York City, I think it's a very, very fun read. So I hope to finish this read today. And I'm also making some progress on Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. I think I'm going to actually listen to it as I'm doing my errands. I have to film a couple of videos for this month as well, which is also my plan. But yeah, that's my plan right now. So I'm going to head to that. I'm also going to a yoga class at 10 o'clock, which I love doing because it's virtual. I don't have to leave my house. I definitely do want to go for a walk later as well, as long as the weather holds out. But that's my plans for today. When I'm done with all of my errandy stuff, I'll probably check in and let you guys know what I'm up to. I'll probably check in maybe before I go to yoga. But I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. It's Lori here. I'm back. I am back from my walk and my yoga class. It's about 1:30. And I did wind up buying another game for my Switch, Luigi's Mansion 3, which I heard from Super Space Chick, and I really just want something else to just kind of occupy my time. So it's gonna take like 31 minutes to download. So I'm gonna read in the interim, The Secret Runners. I'm on page 180 of this. I really hope to tackle a majority of this book today. That's my massive plan. And then I'm gonna play a little bit of Animal Crossing and a little bit of Luigi's Mansion. I have about 41 minutes of an audiobook that I really would love to complete today, and then I'm probably going to work out at some point today too. But I'm going to go dive into Luigi's Mansion, I'm going to go dive into The Secret Runners, and then I'm going to go play some video games for a little bit. I'm not normally a video game person, but I have my Switch, and I might as well use it while I have it and have some time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dive into this, and I will catch you guys up when I get up to page like about 200. Right now, the group of characters that we're following have decided that they are going to try to save the world, which is always a fun task. So, see you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here, just checking back in. It is 1:46. My game is almost all downloaded, so I'm about to go play it for a little bit. But I did want to check in and say that I did get up to page 202 in The Secret Runners. This book did dive into time travel, which I think you cannot run the future is pretty much a guarantee you will see time travel. But it's a very, very simplistic version of time travel and one that's really, really easy to follow. I really do like time travel books. I think that they're sometimes hard to write in some instances because there has to be rules and the rules have to have consequences, and I think that it's a very, very hard genre to write. This reads more of like an action-adventure story that has a time travel element. It also does have an apocalypse element, so there's a lot going on in this book, but for a book that has a lot of different plot points, I think it does it very, very simplistically, and I do like Matthew Riley's writing. It's very, very simplistic and easy to follow. I am curious to see what is the end game because they have revealed something which I'm curious to see if it's going to change throughout the book, but I still am really, really liking it. It's a very, very fast read. I'm about 67% done with it, but I'm going to go read a little bit more before my game downloads, and then I'm going to go play Animal Crossing and a little bit of Luigi's Mansion. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. I did play a bunch of Animal Crossing, and I did play a little bit of Luigi's Mansion, and I had actually a fun time. It was a nice debrief. I listened to about an hour of my audiobook, so I finished The Wicked Ones, which is a short story that I wanted to complete. Now I'm going to dive back into The Secret Runners by Matthew Riley. I am about page 202, and this book ends at like 350, so I think it's definitely doable. I could finish this read today. I'm going to throw on some background noise, and then I'm going to dive into the DC shows that I missed this week, and that is kind of my plan of attack. I did go for my walk. I'm probably going to work out a little bit later. And kind of throw on one of my podcasts, but I'll probably do that right after dinner. So in the meantime, I'm going to go read, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit for another update. Bye. Hey guys, Laurie here. I'm just checking back in. It's almost 5 o'clock, and I did get up to page 283 in The Secret Runners. I will say I'd say I have about like maybe like a little bit more than 50 pages left. I do like this book, but it's definitely not my favorite. I think that it's definitely more of an action story, and like it does have some science fiction elements. But it's very hard to get connected to the characters in this. I think it's a very fast-paced narrative, and it's very action focused. It's definitely not a character focused book in any way. And like, even when stuff happens to characters, I'm not feeling like any emotional investment to them because I feel like the characters aren't really like they have no substance to them. Like, they're fun and they're engaging, but they're not characters that really capture my attention, and they're not characters that will like stay with me. But it's a fun read. It's a very fast paced read. Like, I have about 50 pages left. I am curious to see how the book ends. Definitely took some interesting turns in the book. But yeah, so I'm gonna hopefully make some progress and complete reading it, and then I'll check in with you guys. Bye. Hi guys, Laurie here. I'm just checking back in. I did get up to page about 300 in The Secret Runners, and it's definitely like totally an action movie. Like, this is like basically the representation of an action movie. There's a lot of unexpected twists and turns. I'm really liking it. But it's not a book I would necessarily read again. But it's one that I'm liking. I just don't feel super connected to the characters, and that's probably the only downside to this book. Like, I'm liking it, and I'm liking the character of Sky, but I just don't feel like any emotional attachment to anyone. And some stuff happened in this book, actions that I really would care about in other books, and I just didn't. So I do like it. It's just not a book that has like captured my emotional heart, but it is a very fast-paced, fun story. I'm loving New York as a backdrop. I'm loving the elements of time travel. It's just not a book that I'm going to want to reread because I love the characters. It's just not that type of book, but it's one that I am really liking. So I'm gonna go probably try to finish it, and then I'm gonna do my workout and then come back to reading. I'll talk to you guys in a bit when I'm done with The Secret Runners. Bye guys. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. It is about 6:15, I think. It's like 6:18. But I did complete The Secret Runners by Matthew Riley. I would wind up giving this book 3 stars. I actually thought it was such a fun read. I'm gonna say 3-star reads on my channel are not bad by any means. They're just reads that they're middle of the road. They're okay, they're fun, they're engaging, but they just don't wow me. I wouldn't reread them. But it was a fun read. I liked it. I love the setting of New York City. I love the concept. It was really like, it was kind of reminding me of like an action movie, and that's totally fine with some science fiction twists that I really liked. I liked the characters. I wasn't emotionally invested in the characters, but I thought it was a fun read. So this is the read that I finished, and with some help from my mom for picking some reads. She wound up picking for me Arusha and the End of Time by Ronnie Chosky. I did start this book, I think like last year or like 2 years ago, as an audiobook, and then I had a returner from the library and I got a little bit distracted. I actually picked this up at my school book sale last year, and I never got around to reading it. But I know that it has to do with Pandavian. I feel like this is Hindu, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Indian art and culture, I think. So I'm going to dive into this book. I actually wound up really liking it when I started it, but then I just got distracted. So I'm going to pick this book up, see how far I get. I am going to check to see if my DC shows, if any episodes have released this week, because I know that a lot of them are ending, or we don't know if we're going to have a last episode because of the coronavirus stuff. But I do want to see if I'm up to date on all of them. And then I'm going to dive in to Arusha in the End of Time. And I'll give you guys my thoughts. I read this a while ago. I don't even know when I stopped. But I'm definitely going to need to restart it because I have no idea where I stopped. And I have to do it anyway. But I'm going to go read, and I'll give you guys a check-in when I'm like, maybe like 50 pages, 20 pages in, just to give you guys my first thoughts about it. But I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hi guys, Larry here. I'm back. It's about 8:30, and I did watch a bunch of episodes of This Is Us on Hulu. The only problem with Hulu is that their commercial breaks are super short, and they're not as long as like CW or if you watch on like a streaming site. And I like those commercial breaks because I do get a lot of reading done. But I did watch 2 episodes, I think, of This Is Us. I'm really far behind on that show, but I'm happy that I'm catching up. I got up to page, which is not a lot, 15 in Arusha and the End of Time. I remember really liking the beginning. I thought it was fun. Aru's basically this character. She lives with her mom above a museum, and she's kind of known around school as a liar. She kind of tells fibs and makes stuff up because her life is just not that exciting. Now she's been put in a precarious situation to prove one of her lies as truth, and we will see what happens. I have a feeling she's about to encounter some evil Hindu gods, but we will see. This is sort of a reread for me. I read about like 50% of it, so I do know this part. I just don't remember what happens. So I'm going to watch a couple of YouTube videos, and then I'm going to go back to This Is Us and see if I can get to at least the 50-page mark. But yeah, that's my plan of attack. I'm going to go do that, and I'll check in with you guys before I start watching This Is Us again. Bye. Sorry. My lights in my room have like all my lights are going out, so I have to rely on this little light, but I still did want to update. So I did read about 37 pages in Arusha and the End of Time. I really forgot how charming this book was. I love books set in Rick Riordan's world. I love learning about different mythologies. I really like Boo's relationship with Aru. I like how they're kind of on a quest. I like that we already have a timetable developed. I think that this book is going to be a very, very strong female character driven because there might be 2 leads, which I really, really like. And I'm super excited. It's definitely a book that I'm going to probably read very, very quickly. And I'm just liking it. I think that Aru's like a very, very interesting character. And I don't even know what her name is. I can't remember, but I know she's going to be heavily involved in this quest as well. But I like that they have a guide who's a bird. I like that, and I think that his snarkiness is going to make the story even more funny. But I'm going to go back to reading and watching a few more videos, and I'll check in with you guys when I get up to page 50. Bye, guys. Sorry, here. I'm back. I'm actually going to wrap up reading for the evening. I did get up to page about page 60, which is actually really where I wanted to wind up ending for the evening. I did watch a little bit more BookTube. I am really liking this book. It's definitely a fast-paced story, but I'm liking the dynamics between Minnie and Aru. I think that they're super fun. And I really don't remember what happens. I know that there's like I don't remember because it's been a while, but I am liking the dynamics. I'm liking the snarky humor. I'm liking the development of the myth. Normally when I go into a mythology book, I normally have some concept of the gods. I don't know anything about Hindu or this type of mythology, but I'm liking learning about it. I think it's super interesting and super fun. I think that Aru is definitely like a more snarky character, and Minnie's more like me. Minnie's shy and scared, but very, very determined, and that's more like me as a character. But I'm liking their dynamics, and I'm really curious to see where the story goes next. So I'm gonna go relax for the evening. Maybe I'll watch Jack Ryan. That's been a show that I really wanted to watch for a while because I kind of like John Krasinski. But I will see. I'm going to go kind of decide, but I will check in with you guys tomorrow morning. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Lori here. I'm back. It is about 10 o'clock on Sunday, April 5th. And I did wind up doing my Instagram post and a bunch of small things. I still need to do my group posts for Facebook, but I'll probably do those later. I'm going to go to my yoga class. I did actually get a bunch of reading done. It's not a lot, but I did get up to page like 80 in Arusha in the End of Time. I'm really liking this book. I love books that are very, very formulaic, and that's kind of what Rick Riordan always creates. A very, very formulaic story that has a very, very set endpoint. The one thing I love about Rick Riordan, especially recently, is he's really letting other authors kind of take his ideas and explore mythologies that he honestly doesn't feel like he can or should for obvious reasons. And I really am loving it. I'm loving Arusha. I think she's such a funny character. Like, I love the snark and the wit. I'm really, really liking it. It's definitely a fast-paced read, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm definitely going to go for a walk today. I'm also listening to Scarlet by Marissa Meyer and Ghost of the Shadow Market. I'm pointing it because the physical book is right there. But I do want to make some progress on that. I also do want to go for a walk. And I also do maybe want to go for a bike ride. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely do want to go for a walk and work out at some point today. I do want to play a little bit of Animal Crossing as well. I'm going to give myself 20 minutes with my audiobook when I come home from my walk. And yeah, that's kind of my plan of attack for today. I do want to read a lot. I want to catch up on This Is Us. A lot of episodes if I'm far behind on that. I also did start watching The 100 last night. I'm about 2 seasons behind in that. So a lot of fun things. I'm just trying to make quarantine interesting for myself and having a nice life-work balance. So that's my plan right now. I have to go to a yoga class, but I'll check in when I get done with yoga. Bye, guys. Hey, it's Lori here. I'm back. It's about 1:30, and I actually did it a lot this morning. I went for a walk. I went to yoga. I played an hour of Animal Crossing, which That game, I have to admit, is really, really fun. It's that in my life, I'm not a video game person. I've never really been a video game person, but that game I do like. It's really, really fun. And since we're kind of in quarantine and can't go anywhere, I feel like that's like a nice like activity for me to do because I'm kind of just like I feel like I'm doing stuff because my characters are outside and they're like engaging in stuff I want to be doing. So that's super fun. So I'm gonna watch a couple of YouTube videos. I'm gonna keep on plunging through Arasha and the End of Time. I'm still really enjoying it. I think it's just a fun read and one that's very, very formulaic, but one that I do enjoy. And I do love the sarcastic wit and humor of it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm probably going to dive into This Is Us, which I'm really far behind on, but I would love to catch up. So yeah, that's my plan of attack, and I will check in with you guys when I make a little bit of progress on Arusha. Right now, I'm on page 78, so let's go get some reading done. Bye, guys! I'm just checking back in. It's like 4:30. I just wound up eating, and I wound up watching one episode of This Is Us, and I'm about to watch my second episode of This Is Us, which this is like a 3-part episode, so I'm probably going to watch the whole thing, or most of it tonight. But I did get up to page 120 in Arusha and the End of Time. This book I'm really enjoying. I definitely don't think I've read this part. I think I probably stopped about closer to the start of this book, but I'm really liking it. It definitely screams to me like the first Percy Jackson or the first Red Pyramid book. Very, very like based, like very, very simplistic, but also very, very well crafted. I'm liking that this book features 2 female leads. You don't often get that in middle grade books, but I'm really liking them. Like that they're so different. I'm just really, really enjoying it. I'm loving the tiebacks to modern world, but also with the gods. I'm really liking the gods. We haven't met a lot. We've met a few, but not a lot. But we've been hearing about a lot of them, and I'm really, really liking it. So I'm gonna dive in and hopefully get up to a page 200 at least tonight. Would love to make some more progress, but 200 is my goal, and right now I'm on page 120. I think it's definitely doable, but we will see. I'm gonna go back to reading, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. My lights in my room are like I have to go get some new light bulbs, so that's why the light has like gone down a little bit. I apologize for that, but I did actually wind up watching all 3 episodes of This Is Us that like connect. They're like part 1, part 2, part 3. So I want to watch a couple of more because I'm so close to being done with the season, which is great. Which, considering where I started this year, I'm actually pretty proud of myself. And I did get up to page 145 in Arusha and the End of Time. I do still want to get up to page 200. I'm gonna try my hardest, but if not, I'm not gonna worry about it. But I am really liking it. I'm liking it's very, very formulaic. I like the snarky humor. I just like it. I think it's a very, very fun read. I'm also gonna be starting a read with my friend tomorrow. Like a buddy read with my friend. I'm gonna see how long this reading vlog is. I might end it tonight or I might start a new one tomorrow. We will see. But I am really liking this book. I think it's super fun. It's very, very formulaic. It reminds me a lot of Percy Jackson book 1. Very, very like introduction to fantasy, like introduction to mythology. And I always forget there is like a nice detailed like author like got information in the back, so I always forget about that until I like actually read the book. But that is there if you need it. But I'm gonna dive back in and try to read it. I'm also watching This Is Us as well, but I would really love to get up to at least page 200, if not past that. But we will see, and I'll see you guys in a bit for another update. Bye, guys. Lori. Hi, guys. Lori here. I'm just here to wrap up this reading vlog. This was definitely a less content reading vlog for you guys, but I did get a little bit of reading done. I did make some progress. I did wind up finishing Super Adjacent during this reading vlog, I think, and Secret Runners, and I made some progress on Arusha and the End of Time. It was a really, really relaxing reading vlog. I actually got some reading done, which was exciting. I'm gonna go start my next reading vlog. I hope you guys are enjoying these reading vlogs during quarantine life. I just like having background noise when I do things, so I hope that these reading vlogs bring you a little bit of light to your life or just a little bit of fun. It's super fun for me to make these reading vlogs. I like to just keep track of what's going on in my life, but especially in my reading life. But yeah, I'm gonna go start a new reading vlog, and I hope you guys are staying safe. Let me know in the comments what are some books that you guys have been tackling with quarantine life. I'd love to hear them, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.